Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Final Destination Bloodlines. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sorry, I'm to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Final Destination, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I will greatly appreciate all that out of the way. Let's get into the review, shall we? So, Final Destination, after it's been over 10 years, right, since the last one, number 5, which to me is the best Final Destination, and that is saying a lot considering I do think Final Destination is one of the most consistent movie franchises, or most consistent horror franchises, I should say, of all time. I think they've only had one bad movie, and that was the 4th one that was titled The Final Destination, which was a big lie because now we're at number 6. And this one here, Bloodlines, has a new little twist on it because typically we have the premonition of the person who's seen, we see this big extravagant thing. This one was at the Skyview, and a bunch of people die, and then she wakes up, and then boom, and then she saves some people, and then the order in which they were supposed to die is the direction that death comes into play. But this one is a little bit different because it's not just the premonition, it's the fact that it's a dream from someone that's later on down in the bloodline. And it does add a lot to the franchise as a whole. In a way, it really explains the whole entire franchise. Like, they're really saying, in a way, this prologue, which to me, this was one of the best premonitions. The Skyview, you could just tell they had the technology that they always wanted. Really action-packed, very, very gory in a lot of ways. Also very, very funny. I will never hear the song "Raindrops Are Falling on My Head" ever the same again after watching this movie, which every good Final Destination movie always does. I mean, I'm still scared to drive behind logs. I'm still kind of scared to get on a roller coaster. I will never get laser eye surgery, so on and so forth. The best Final Destination movies have that, and this one did this with a song. And with that premonition, because it takes place in the 50s while the others take place in the 2000s, in a way, with how it's set up, like, yeah, death has to get through a lot of people, and if it gets someone that wasn't supposed to have children, then it has to get the whole entire bloodline. And within that, some of the rules are kind of funky, and I can't really get more into it without going into spoilers, but the order in which the deaths go didn't fully make sense to me. They said that it has to go a certain way, just simply due to plot convenience, which is fine. Whatever it's going to help you make the best movie that you can get. But I did when they explained that, I was like, well, why would you go in that order? That doesn't really make much sense. But that's a very minor nitpick. Like I said, this is one of the best premonitions before the death scene, and then again, it's just a very, very fun ride after that. The deaths are very, very creative. Death has a better morbid comedy throughout this whole entire movie. Like I said, I'm never going to hear the song "Raindrops Are Falling on My Head" ever the same again. I am never going to want an MRI ever again after watching this movie. The comedy is very good. There's a scene in the hospital there's a scene in the hospital where two characters are talking and they look at something and they go, no, we shouldn't. Unless, no, you're right, we shouldn't. And it's really, really funny and very, very morbid. So, like, if you don't have a dark sense of humor, this probably isn't going to be for you. But I'll also say after 6 movies in, you probably already knew that. The characters overall really good. I like how there was a much more attempt at character dynamics within this. And, it's easier because it's a bloodline. It's a whole family heritage of going through it. And the theme of family drama of one person, and this is all in the trailer, that one person had this premonition and it got so scared for their family and they kept fearing death. And so therefore she locked her 2 kids up after her husband passed, and then they broke away. They got away from their mom because, they thought she was crazy. And then of course death is coming around because now it's their time. And if they would have just kept it a little bit more subtle, I would have been much more on board and easier to swallow it. But they keep going back to, we can't be afraid of death. We should just live our lives. We can't be afraid of death. We should just live our lives. Well, because of grandma. Oh, well, because of my mom. Oh, well, because of this. It's just, they kept going through it. And at 90 minutes, I didn't necessarily need it every 30 seconds. It's what it felt like. I really liked it once or 2 times. Also, over explaining explaining everything. I cannot talk today, guys. Over explaining everything. There is a character with Tony Todd's character. We've known him forever. Rest in peace. God rest his soul. When we see him, it's very, very nice. And then he grabs a item, and we're supposed to connect the dots on who he was supposed to be early on within the film. And when he grabs the item, I go, oh, he was this guy. And then they cut back to that flashback, and I was like, I didn't need that. I really didn't need that. So those very, very minor things. But again, why are you coming to a Final Destination movie? You're coming to see a good premonition, which you do get with the Skyview. You're there to see some funny characters get killed, which they do, and you're there to see them get killed in very, very creative ways, which they do. And within that aspect, yeah, to me, Final Destination Bloodlines, even though it is the highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes out of the 6, to me, it's not my favorite, but it is on the podium. If I had to rank them for the Final Destinations at the bottom, and then it's probably 2 after that, then 1, and then 3 and 6 are really fighting out, and then 5's at the very top. To me personally, when it comes to the movie ranking. But if I had to rank just this one on the lemon scale, where it goes sour lemon at the bottom, expired store-bought lemonade, then store-bought lemonade, hey, it's good, but hey, there's some bad to it. Lemonade, it's a movie. Freshly squeezed lemonade, strawberry lemonade at the very top, because that's the best kind of lemonade. To me, this is a lemonade, and it shouldn't strive to be any more than that, right? Like, that's another thing that I really liked about this movie, is that it knew what it was. Okay, yeah, our villain is something you can't see necessarily. It's really the wind. So, yeah, we're going to have some fun. We're going to crack a couple of jokes. We're going to get really creative when we do kill them, and it's going to be very, very bloody. It's going to be very, very gory. You want to have a good time? Yes, I do, and I absolutely did. I think this is very much worthy of your time in the theaters. Hopefully you see it in a big crowd. I think it's worthy of prime time, seeing it at that 7 p.m., 8 p.m. when everyone's off work or everyone's getting ready for the night and that theater is packed. I think you're going to have the best time with it that way. But I even think watching it at home is going to be a good time too, but I do think this is meant for the big screen. So head out and go see Final Destination Bloodlines. Again, a worthy adaptation into this 6-movie franchise now. That to me, again, is one of the most consistent in all of horror. But let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it, especially with all of my stuttering and misspokenness that I am continuing to do. And of course, hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.